Before this video starts, I want to give a huge shout out to Dragon City for sponsoring today's video. Do you guys ever just find yourself extremely bored just sitting in the Fortnite lobby screen for hours on end? Or if not that, do you find yourself tired twiddling your thumbs waiting for Fortnite queues? I know that can be really boring. If yes was the answer to either of those, I've got the perfect thing for you. It's called Dragon City. I'm sure many of you guys have actually heard of this. Dragon City is a free-to-play social network game available both on Android, iOS, and even now Windows, where you can actually breed, raise, level up, train, and fight cartoon dragons. And if that doesn't sound awesome as it is, there are hundreds of different dragons you can collect, and you can do this by even breeding 2 dragons together, and you can maybe get another dragon, which is even better from that. You raise them as your own, you level them up, and then you feed and train them to take them into battle in the game's PvP mode, where you can fight in real time against your friends or even just anyone across the world. And not only this, but there are also events every single week to discover and play new adventures, which just makes a game that much more enjoyable. So what are you waiting for? Download Dragon City today with the top link in the description. And you know what, just for you guys, just a little bonus, I'm going to be giving a special reward of 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and also starting you guys off with a Fire Night Dragon for absolutely free, exclusively with my link. So go and get it downloaded, and who knows, maybe our dragons can go to war. But trust me, you don't want that smoke.
Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, what we are going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys my in-game Fortnite settings. Now, I am pretty late to this, you know, the new season dropped quite a bit ago. Actually, no, it was quite recent, but it still was long ago. Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't, but basically, it came out recently, but I'm also kind of late because everyone's already done this video. That's what I'm trying to say here. But these settings are going to be for this season right now, and I guess they're subjective, but these also do help benefit my FPS, and I'll talk about each setting as I go through this video. These will help you get better FPS. And of course, we are going to get straight into this, but before we do so, I want to mention 2 things. First of all, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You know, it's completely free to drop a like. Literally takes 2 seconds, and it is really appreciated if this video goes to help. You can subscribe, you know, again, it's also free. You can also unsubscribe later down the line if you no longer enjoy my content. And also, I want to mention that I'm now bringing back creator code shoutouts. This guy actually messaged me saying, use code Fxtch. He's completely right. Because what happens now, if you use my code in the item shop, I'm going to be shouting people out on my YouTube. All you need to do is literally, you don't have to buy anything, don't have to put any money on the game, just simply put my creator code in the item shop like this. It's just Fxtch, put it in the item shop, send proof over my Discord server. I will put the link down below in the description. I'll also put it in the comments. Join my Discord server, and there is actually a channel I'll show on screen right now. It's code Fxtch channel. Send proof in there, just a screenshot you're using my code, and I'll be shouting out everyone who does that in my next few videos. Okay, so now my settings. Sorry for the long intro right there, but we're getting into it now. First of all, video settings. On the display tab down here, we have window mode, full screen. Of course, you guys know this by now. Full screen is the best. It gives you the least input lag. If you're not using full screen, I do not know what you are doing. So yeah, definitely use full screen. Resolution, I'm using 1920 by 1080, which is native Fortnite resolution. I'm using this just because it's the best in my opinion. You know, you can use stretch res. If you're going to do that, you have to use the CRU method. Therefore, you get less input lag. And it also has some things you want to do in your NVIDIA control panel to also make sure that you are getting the least input lag and your game is as responsive as it should be. CRU, if you guys don't know, actually stands for Custom Resolution Utility, and it's a software which helps with custom resolutions, so stretch res. If you guys need help with setting that up and you don't want to use native, personally a lot of pros are using native and I do enjoy native. I recommend it, but if you want to get maybe more FPS and you want to use stretch res, I have actually made a ton of videos on the CRU method. I also did do it a little bit different to its Jerian, and I showed I think a more advanced method. So yeah, you can check that out. I'll link it down below. But now swiftly moving down, I want to get through this video as fast as possible. Frame rate limit, I am capped at 240, so 240 FPS. I have a 240Hz monitor and I don't use G-Sync, so this works perfectly for me. If you have 240Hz, I also don't recommend you use G-Sync because that actually induces input lag and it can make your game less responsive. So yeah, I actually don't use G-Sync. For V-Sync as well, don't use V-Sync. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, and some people do use V-Sync. We'll actually talk about that now, because if you have 60Hz, this is going to be the rule for this. If you have 60Hz, a lot of people will maybe go to unlimited. I don't really recommend that. If you have 60Hz but you get more FPS than 60, cap as close as possible to that. So maybe, I guess it would be like 120. And then what you can do is turn on V-Sync. I know this sounds kind of confusing because V-Sync does actually cap your FPS, I'm sure, but just trust me with this, turn on V-Sync, and if you have 60Hz, it can make your performance feel a little bit smoother. Just try it out for me, and if that doesn't work, just cap at 120 or however much FPS you're pulling with your 60Hz monitor. And then if you have 144Hz, I actually recommend capping capping at 160 or 165. It doesn't really matter, but either one of those. And also I may as well mention here, but unlimited in at least creative, what that is going to do is it will give you less input lag. So your game actually feels a lot more smoother with unlimited, and the response times are a lot better with unlimited. But when you're in games like arena, pubs, and your FPS is dropping end game, you're gonna get more lag spikes and FPS drops, which will make your game feel more stuttery, and it won't be nice. That's the reason people cap. But yeah, now moving down to my graphics. Says 50%, but it's actually on 100%. It's just bugged. Use interface contrast. Don't mess with that. These are my color settings right now, but I'll probably make an updated one and mess with them a little bit. But for now, I just have colorblind mode off. It just looks nicer for me. And then all my graphics settings, as you can see, I'm clearly not using performance mode. I'll explain that more in a second, but yeah, you can just, I guess, copy these. I also have my textures on medium, so everything's on like the lowest settings, so near, off, or low. And then I have my textures on medium because this helps your game just render a little bit faster, which overall will give you better and smoother frames later in the game. It's just one of those like pro tips every pro is using right now. But you know, the basic stuff. VSync, again, I already spoke about this. Motion blur, you always want that off. Don't use this, it's disgusting. Show FPS, obviously subjective. Rendering mode, okay, so now my rendering mode, I have mine on DirectX 11, but performance mode definitely does help. I just don't have it on performance mode because right now you don't have the bubble wrap builds, and I only used it for the bubble wrap builds, but also it's mainly because I'm lazy and I just can't be bothered to change my rendering mode over to performance mode because I have to like go into my game user settings because it's like on read only, and it's just going to be a pain. But I'd recommend for the best performance, you do use performance mode. It definitely does benefit FPS. Even if the builds still look the same, it does help. Or you can actually use on mobile builds, which will obviously look different, but you will get more FPS. It's down to you, but mobile builds for me look horrible. So yeah, I either use performance mode with the normal builds or simply use DX11. DX12 is still very, very bad. That's just my opinion. And of course, as I use DX11 right now, haven't bothered to change it. I obviously have multi-thread rendering turned on because I have a good CPU and this improves performance for me. If you have 4 or more cores on your CPU, you are recommended to turn this on. And then everything else really doesn't matter all that much. I guess you can just copy it. But this video is going to be really long if I don't hurry up. So moving on to my game settings right here, matchmaking region. This is another one. What you want to do is have it set dead on your region. So instead of having it on auto, set it to your actual region. I don't know why, but this actually does help improve ping a little bit, and it will connect you into games faster through matchmaking and also connect you directly to the closest sub-server, or at least it will do a better job at that. And then yeah, scrolling down, this is all subjective. You guys can copy this if you want, but at the bottom here, you guys probably know about this by now, but replays, turn them all off. They really do affect performance. Again, another subjective thing. Copy this if you want. This HUD scale, I feel like it's kind of nice. It's like the perfect median, I think. My sense right here, my controller options, I don't play controller. My sounds, obviously I've got this turned down. I usually have it like 65%. Sound quality, this is one. I have it on low. This will give you better FPS, and also visualize sound effects. I recommend you actually turn this off. Having it on will actually lower FPS. And now finally, my keybinds right here, it shows I have no movement binds. That's because I use double movement. I actually use the Wooting 1 software. I think it's very, very good, but yeah, I use double movement. I have mouse wheel up on my jump for B-hops, so like when you launch pad or something or land, it's quite fun just to do a little B-hop. You can also see I have edit on release, and yeah, these are my binds. I guess you can pause the video if you want to copy them. I have made full videos about my binds actually, like the most optimal keybind videos and stuff like that you can watch on my channel. But yeah, all my binds right here, there's a lot, and half of these I don't even mess with. And yeah guys, I think that is it for this video. I'm sorry this was long. I didn't really want to drag it on for this long, but I kind of just get carried away with speaking, and I like to explain things thoroughly for you guys so you don't really have any questions. But hopefully this video could help. Of course you can skim through it, and I'm sure if you got to this point anyway, it did help. If you did, leave a comment, let me know you watched the whole video. That would mean a lot to me. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Remember code Fxtch in the item shop if you want to shout out. Just send proof in my Discord. It's that simple. I'll be rolling out the shoutouts over my next few videos. And yeah, I hope everyone has an amazing day. It's been your boy Fxtch, and yeah, peace.